One night in bed, Shug asked me to tell her about Nettie. What's she like? Where's she at? I tell her how Mister tried to turn her head, how Nettie refused him, and how he said Nettie have to go. Where'd she go? She asked. I don't know, I say. She leave here. And no word from her yet? She asked. Nah, I say. Every day when Mister come from the mailbox, I hope for news. But nothing come. She dead, I say. Should say, she wanna be someplace with funny stamps, you don't reckon. She look like she studied. Say, sometimes when Albert and me walk up to the mailbox, there'll be a letter with a lot of funny looking stamps. She never say nothing about it. He never say nothing about it, just put it in his inside pocket. One time I asked him, could I look at the stamps? But he said he'd take it out later. But he never did. She was just on her way to town, I say. Stamps look like stamps around here. White man with long hair. She say, look like a little fat white woman was on one. What's your sister Nettie like, she asked. Smart? Yes, Lord, I say. Smart as anything. Read the newspapers when she was little more than talking. Did figures like there was nothing. Talked real well, too. And sweet. There never was a sweeter girl, I say. Eyes just brimming over with it. She loved me, too, I say to Shug. She tall or short, Shug asked. What kind of dress she like to wear? What's her birthday? What's her favorite color? Can she cook? Sew? What about hair? Everything about Nettie. She want to know. I talk so much, my voice start to go. Why you want to know so much about Nettie? I asked. 'Cause she the only one you ever loved, she said, besides me. Dear God, all of a sudden, Shug buddy again with Mister. They sit on the steps, go down Harpo's, walk to the mailbox. Shug laugh and laugh like when he got anything to say. Show teeth and tits aplenty. Me and Grady try to carry on like us civilized, but it's hard. When I hear Shug laugh, I want to choke her, slap Mr. Face. All this week I suffer. Grady and me feel so down. If he turn to reefer, I turn to prayer. Saturday morning, Shug put Nettie letter in my lap. Little fat Queen of England stamps on it, plus stamps that got peanuts, coconuts, rubber trees, and say Africa. I don't know where England at. Don't know where Africa is either. So I still don't know where Nettie at. He been keeping your letters, say Shug. No, I say. Mister mean sometimes, but he not that mean. She say, he that mean. But how come he do it, I asked. He know Nettie mean everything in the world to me. Shug say she don't know, but us gonna find out. I seal the letter up again and put it back in Mr. Pocket. He walk around with it in his coat all day. He never mentioned it. Just talk and laugh with Grady, Harpo, and Swain and try to learn how to drive Shug car. I watch him so close, I begin to feel lightning in my head. Before I know anything, I'm standing behind his chair with his razor open. Then I hear Shug laugh, like something just too funny. She say to me, I know I told you I need something to cut this hangnail with, but Albert get real niggerish about his razor. Mister looked behind him. Put that down, he said. Women, always needing to cut this and shave that and always coming up the razor. Shug got her hand on the razor now. She say, oh, it looked dull anyway. She take it and sling it back in the shaving box. All day long, I act like Sophia. I stutter. I mutter to myself. I stumble around the house crazy for Mr. Blood. In my mind, he fallen dead every time it's away. By time night come, I can't speak. Every time I open my mouth, nothing come out but a little bird. She'll tell everybody I got a fever, and she put me to bed. It probably catching, she say to Mister. Maybe you better sleep somewhere else. But she stay with me all night long. I don't sleep. I don't cry. I don't do nothing. I'm cold too. Pretty soon, I think maybe I'm dead. She'll hold me close to her and sometimes talk. One thing my mama hated me for was how much I loved to fuck, she said. She never loved to do anything. She never loved to do nothing, had anything to do with her touching nobody, she said. I tried to kiss her. She turned her mouth away. Say, cut that out, Lily, she said. Lily Suge real name. She just so sweet, they call her Suge. My daddy loved me to kiss and hug him, but she didn't like the looks of that. So when I met Albert, and once I got in his arms, nothing could get me out. It was good too, she said. You know, for me to have 3 babies by Albert, and Albert weak as he is, it had to be good. I had every one of my babies at home too. Midwife come, preacher come, a bunch of the good ladies from the church. Just when I heard so much I don't know my own name, they think a good time to talk about repent. She laughed. I was too big a fool to repent. Then she'd say, I love me some Albert. I don't even get off to say nothing. Where I'm at is peaceful. They calm. No Albert there, no Suge, nothing. Suge say, the last baby did it. They turned me out. I went to stay with my mama wild sister in Memphis. She just like me, mama say. She drink, she fight, she loves men to death. She work in a roadhouse. Cook, feed 50 men, screw 55. Suge talk and talk. And dance, they say. Nobody danced like Albert when he was young. Sometimes us did the moochie for an hour. After that, nothing to do but go somewhere and lay down. And funny. Albert was so funny. He kept me laughing. How come he ain't funny no more? She asked. How come he never hardly laugh? How come he don't dance? She say. Good God, Celie, she'd say. What happened to the man I love? She cried a little while. Then she say, I was so surprised when I heard he was going to marry Annie Julia, she said. Too surprised to be hurt. I didn't believe it. After all, Albert knew as well as me that love would have to go some to be better than ours. Us had the kind of love couldn't be improved. That's what I thought. But he weak, she said. His daddy told him I'm trash. My mama trash before me. His brothers say the same. Albert tried to stand up for us, get knocked down. One reason they give him for not marrying me is 'cause I have children. But they his, I told mister. How was no, he asked. Poor Annie Julia, Suge say. She never had a chance. I was so mean and so wild, Lord. I used to go around saying, I don't care who he married to, I'm gonna fuck him. She stopped talking a minute. Then she said, and I did too. Us fuck so much in the open, us give fucking a bad name. But he fucked Annie Julia too, she said, and she didn't have nothing, not even a liking for him. Her family forgot all about her once she married. And then Harpo and all the children started to come. Finally, she started to sleep with that man that shot her down. Albert beat her. The children dragged on her. Sometimes, I wonder what she thought about when she died. I know what I'm thinking about, I think. Nothing. And as much of it as I can. I went to school with Aunt Julia, Suge said. She was pretty, man. Black as anything and skin just as smooth. Big black eyes looked like moons. And sweet, too. Hell, say Suge. I liked her myself. Why I hurt her so? I used to keep Albert away from home for a week at a time. She'd come and beg him for money to buy groceries for the children. I feel a few drops of water in my hand. And when I come here, say Suge, I treated you so mean, like you was a servant. And all because Albert married you. And I didn't even want him for a husband, she said. I never really wanted Albert for a husband. But just to choose me, you know, because nature had already done it. Nature said, you two folks hook up, because you a good example of how it's supposed to go. I didn't want nothing to be able to go against that. But what was good between us must have been nothing but bodies, she said. 'Cause I don't know the Albert that don't dance, can't hardly laugh, never talk about nothing, beat you and hit your sister Nettie Lettuce. Who he? I don't know nothing, I think. I'm glad of it.